sound effects in them, you know?
Yeah.
I miss that.
Yes.
Where's Ray Stevens when you need him?
And they'll start auto-tuning sound effects as well.
All right, it's 8:31. Time for the news brought to you by Quality Heating and Air. And these folks are good, man. Just look for the big Ream sign, and that'll be hanging out on US 52 right there in downtown hustling, bustling Sugar Grove, Ohio. And with the temperatures on the rise, you're going to need these folks at Quality Heating. Remember this number, 858-4363. And from the News Center once again, here's Bill.
Thank you, Steve. Hope everybody's Friday's off to a great start. A potentially brutal heat wave is headed our way beginning this Sunday. The director of the Scioto County EMA, Larry Mullins, told me residents shouldn't be taking it lightly.
Well, the very first heat wave of the season is coming our way starting Sunday through next Tuesday. We have an extreme heat watch in effect. Dangerously hot conditions will persist. Heat indices of over 104 are possible. Heat-related illnesses will increase with the heat and humidity, particularly for those who are working outside or taking part in outdoor activities. So drink plenty of fluids, especially water. Stay in air-conditioned rooms. Stay out of the sun, and check on your relatives and neighbors and your pets. Also, you might want to check around your part of the county. We've urged that to the townships and local villages that they might consider setting up some kind of cooling station. We're also working with the Salvation Army to get a cooling station going here in Portsmouth. We'll tell you more about that when the details are confirmed.
The Scioto County Commissioners met for a brief meeting earlier this week due to the courthouse being closed for the Juneteenth federal holiday. Now, during that meeting, the commissioners voted to accept a VOCA grant. Here is Commissioner Scotty Powell.
This is a 2025-2026 VOCA grant in the amount of $14,001.84 with a cash match, $14,001.84, and the SVAA grant award of $43,318 with a cash match of $43,318 for a total of $57,319.84.
Now, the Victims of Crime Act, which is VOCA, provides federal funding through the Crime Victims Fund to support state and local victim assistance programs. VOCA funds are primarily used to provide direct services to victims of crime, such as counseling, legal aid, as well as shelter services. And on the national news front, United States President Donald Trump said yesterday he'll decide within 2 weeks whether the U.S. military should get directly involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran, given the substantial chance for renewed negotiations over Tehran's nuclear program as the two sides attacked one another for a seventh straight day. President Trump has been weighing whether to attack Iran by striking its well-defended Fordo uranium enrichment facility, which is buried under a mountain and widely considered to be out of reach of all but America's bunker buster bombs. From Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Well, Bill, on this Friday, first day of summer, just want to let everybody know that, things are good. We have no rain. There'll be a lot of grass cutting, but if you're going to do that, be careful. Make sure you are hydrated.
Hydrated, absolutely.
That's right. That's one of the main things. Recently, though, I saw this where the Pope Leo XIV had a meeting with none other than Al Pacino. Can you imagine the Pope and Al Pacino getting together?
That would be an interesting meeting, yes.
That's right. Well, the pontiff shed some light on his summit with the Hollywood icon this week as we check in with the Pope.
Hey there, this is Leo XIV, the Pope. Boy, did I get a thrill of a lifetime this week when I met my favorite actor, Al Pacino. Hoo-ah! If you don't recognize the impression there, that's what Al says in Scent of a Woman. That's something I don't know too much about, but I loved that movie. Oh, and get a load of this gag. So as I pull out my Virgin Mary statue and said, "Say hello to my little friend." Oh, it was a riot. And then Al and I went to the Vatican vending machines for a cold pop, and half of them were broken. So as I started screaming, "You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole vending machine room is out of order!" Boy, did we have a good laugh. Unfortunately, our meeting ended up with a little argument over that ketchup and Velveeta covered cracker they call pizza over there in New York. But as Al said in Donnie Brasco, a wise guy's always right, even when he's wrong. Stay blessed, yous guys. Hoo-ah!
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't see a Sea of Love, because Ellen Barkin could change his life.
It could change a lot of people's lives, yes.
Hoo-ha!
That's right.
All right, man. This update brought to you this morning by Quality Heating and Air, and you can find them again on the West Side 52. And with the heat wave on the way, you're going to need their number at 858-4363. Good folks, Quality Heating and Air. We'll check in with ONN next.
Down on Route 52, just west of town, there's a little place where the word gets around. Quality Heating and Air's got your back. For sales and service, they're right on track. I see out in Portsmouth they're the name to trust. When the air goes down, they'll lift you up.
Call Quality Heating and Air at 740-858-4363.
And looking good outside. Fog is gone. 8:37 as we check in with ONN.
This is ONN.
I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network. Near Columbus, the Blendon Township Police Department is stripping pay from an officer accused of murder. More from Yolanda Harris of ONN affiliate WBNS-TV.
Connor Grubb is charged for shooting and killing Takaya Young in August of 2023. He will stand trial in November. The police department placed him on paid leave following the shooting. The Board of Trustees voted to revoke his pay, citing financial issues within the department due to a failed levy. Attorneys for Takaya Young's family furious at the board's decision, releasing a statement saying, quote, the township's decision to move Grubb from paid to unpaid leave is a public relations move disguised as fiscal responsibility.
In Northwest Ohio, Lucas County Children's Services just added 15 new caseworkers to its team. Melissa Andrews of ONN affiliate WTOL-TV in Toledo reports.
The agency has a partnership with the University of Toledo, allowing recent graduates to get hands-on experience and apply. There's also people who have just decided they want to be in child welfare. The director of social services says it's possible more people are applying to be caseworkers after the death of Kimani Lateague. There are concerns about federal funding in the state budget. Children's Services is also hoping to have a renewal levy on the November ballot. Right now it says it doesn't have any reason to believe it would reduce staffing.
I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network.
And time once again for sports. 8:39, and it's brought to you by Roger Hemming, LLC. Find Roger on the west side on 104 for any construction, overhead door, or fencing you may need. Roger is your man. All right, it's time to check in again with sports, and maybe if the Reds are moving in the right direction, they can take it out on the Cardinals this weekend.
Well, let's certainly hope so. The Reds had a rough day yesterday, but all in all, Cincy has had a great week and a half, really. And heading into this weekend, the Reds are fourth in the NL Central, 6.5 games out, but they're only a game behind both the Cardinals and the Brewers, who are tied for second. The Cubs continue to sit atop the division. So I think this is a big little 6-game stretch coming up for Cincinnati, heading to St. Louis for 3 there, and then returning home for 3 against a very good American League East leading New York Yankees ball club. The Reds have proven that they can beat the bad teams, and they can play even with the good teams. Now let's see if they can be a great team. Let's hope.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah,
All right, here's Chuck.
I vote for that. The Twins took down the Reds 12-5 yesterday, but the Reds still took 2 out of 3 to win the series. Reds starting pitcher Nick Martinez, he got roughed up yesterday. In 2 2/3 innings, he gave up 7 runs off of 7 hits and surrendered 3 home runs. Since he did have a few positives certainly worth yammering about. TJ Friedl, man, he had a great game offensively. He's having a good season. He went 3 for 5 with the double in yesterday's loss, had an RBI and scored twice. Spencer Steer logged a couple hits, and Gavin Lux had a home run. Off to St. Louis go the Reds now for a 3-game set. This evening's first pitch will be at 7:15. Tomorrow's game, as well as Sunday's, will both begin at 2:15, and you can hear all those games on Fox Sportsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. Remember that coverage begins 30 minutes prior to the first pitch. Brady Singer will be on the mound this evening for Cincinnati. The Cleveland Guardians fell to the San Francisco Giants 2-1 last night out on the West Coast. Even though Cleveland came up short in that game, the Guardians took 2 out of 3 to win the series. Cleveland will stay out west, and will visit the A's tonight for a 10:05 first pitch. Remember, the A's are playing their home games this year in Sacramento. The Guardians are currently second in the American League Central, 9.5 games out. In minor league baseball last night, the Chillicothe Paints defeated Champion City 6-5. Chillicothe will host Lafayette this weekend for a 3-game series. This evening's first pitch from the VA will be at 7:05. The NBA Finals continue on. Going to get a Game 7 now after the Pacers took it to the Thunder last night in Game 6 in Indianapolis. 108-91 was the final. Obi Toppin came off the bench to score 20 points, which was a high for the triumphant Pacers. Game 7 will be Sunday night at 8 o'clock. The series will shift back to Oklahoma City. The NASCAR Cup Series will race at Pocono on Sunday. The green flag will fly at 2 o'clock. And that is a look at sports.
All right, and thank you, Chuck. Brought to you by Roger Hemming, LLC. Find Roger on the west side, and again, he'll take care of everything you need from construction, overhead door, and fencing. And traffic weather together one more time coming up.
Southern Ohio Overhead Doors and Fencing has all kinds of garage doors in multiple sizes and colors for commercial and residential use and offers both sales and service. Fencing-wise, there's wood, vinyl, metal, and chain link. Southern Ohio Overhead Doors and Fencing can custom make gates and is the only company around that can install and service electrical gate openers. Southern Ohio Overhead Doors and Fencing, 22115 State Route 73 West Portsmouth at Roger Hemming Contractors LLC. Phone 740-529-0133. Guaranteed lowest prices, financing available, credit cards accepted. See store for details.
And it is your traffic, a service of your friends at the Scioto River, 1024 Gallia Street. Of course, for the weekend here, and a little celebration at hand. Why not stop in and see Dashing Darren, Will the Thrill, Chasing on Grill, all the rest. They will make your weekend spectacular. And, you talk about heating up. Woo! We're going to be looking at no rain, but heat for the next week or so. So just ready yourself for that on this first day of summer. No accidents. We have had some cruiser activity out there, but I believe they have now moved on. And it looks like all the fog along the river, which was there, is no longer. So if you see something we need to know about, let us know at 354-1993. Traffic, a service of your friends at the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
Weather's the service of the Counseling Center's Crisis Center, the region's resource for mental health, substance abuse, and family crises. 24/7 clinical services, medical care, shelter, food, and transport available. The crisis hotline is 740-354-1010. TCC's main line, 740-354-6685.
First alert forecast from WSAZ. Becoming mostly sunny, warm, but this time not as muggy, with temperatures into the low and middle 80s. Skies clear out again tonight. A pleasant evening. A touch of fog toward dawn with lows in the mid-60s. More sunshine on Saturday, but now the heat starts coming on. Highs in the upper 80s. I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Brandon Butcher on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.